Yes, sir. It's Vibe with Your Boys podcast with Kyle the Kid and Mega the Boy. Mega, how you living? How you feeling?
You know, I always say I had a long day.
Mm-hmm.
Today I really had a long day. Yeah, 12-hour shift.
12 hours?
Came in.
Sheesh. That boy dedicated. I do 12 hours. I'm home sleeping. Yeah, I would have canceled today, you know what I'm saying?
We different people.
Yeah, you more of a go-getter type.
Maybe
I'm just a...
bitch.
No, I wouldn't say all that. Nah, you did too much. You did too much. But hopefully y'all had a good week, not a long day like him. If you haven't already noticed, we joined with a special guest. Qveen in the building. What's happening?
What's up, y'all? It's your girl, Qveen. You already know what time it is. You can follow me on Instagram at official_thequeen.
Get right to it.
Look, you just got to get right into it. Just follow me on Instagram at official_thequeen, and that's Queen with a V because I am victorious.
You work on that? Like that's
Yeah. I tried to throw that in there.
Yeah. You can tell she did this like once or twice, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like she not new to it, you know what I'm saying? True to it type stuff. Queen, what's happening? What's going on, man?
I don't know. You got to tell me. I know you got some good topics today. You know, I'm excited to finally be on the show. It's been about a year. You know, you had all the greats, but, you know, one of the greatest was...
Not got the greatest.
It took me a year. But, you know, we're here.
I wouldn't say that. I would say it happened when it's supposed to happen.
It happened when it's supposed to happen.
Yeah.
See, you know what? And that's good. I love that.
You've been going straight? Everything fine?
Everything's fine. I got some upcoming stuff coming up, you know, maybe some VMAs, some award shows. We got some good things in the mix this year.
You got Fashion Week coming up too, ain't it?
Fashion Week is coming up. New York Fashion Week will be...
Queen is a model, by the way, guys, in case you guys didn't know. Queen is a model.
New York Fashion Week will be September the 7th all the way down into the 13th. This year, I will be walking a few shows. I'm not going to say which ones in particular because I had some issues last year. So this year, we just going to pray for the best and just do it like that.
Is the excitement the same for every year for you, or...
I would say in the beginning when I started out, it was always exciting. Now it's kind of just like a job.
Okay.
And I do feel like what happens is that at times, you know, you get excited, but when you start actually transitioning it over to work life, it's like, okay, no, it's just a job.
For sure. Well, looking forward to seeing you do your thing out there and a multitude of other things as well. You know, she be running around the city. She's a very busy woman. You know what I'm saying? Now, this hasn't been like the most eventful, but there's definitely some stuff to talk about. Let's see, where should we start? We can start with your Scorpio sister.
Scorpio sister.
Is that what it is?
You mean Virgo sister? Miss Keke Palmer?
Okay.
Let's not do it.
I'm not too
Shout
good
out
with
to all the Virgos in the building.
I'm not too good with the horoscopes.
Shout out to all the Virgos.
I'm not too good with the horoscopes. Keke Palmer was seen pop back out with her baby daddy, Darius. Is that funny calling him the baby daddy?
No, it's just a funny situation.
Okay, yeah. She was seen. They were celebrating her birthday. He took her out to eat.
Yes.
And to everybody's surprise, you know, people thought they weren't together. Did you think they weren't together anymore?
I'm gonna be honest with you. I knew they were still together.
How you?
Because if you ever fell in love with a Virgo, the baby, that love is toxic. You ain't going nowhere. Once you here, you here. Once you're here, you're here.
So this is like the Virgo's national consensus. Like this is like
we have our ways. I don't think.
Is it a we thing? It's a we thing.
What you mean it's a we thing?
Like
all Virgos the same?
She's thinking.
That's a long ass silence.
No, because like I think male Virgos are very different from female Virgos.
Okay.
I think they're more feminine, believe it or not.
The men Virgos are more feminine.
Yeah. I think they're a little bit more complex. Yeah, I'm gonna say that.
Okay, and then so you knew he wasn't going nowhere because
he wasn't going nowhere. He was not going
nowhere. Y'all just like that.
We got it like that. He wasn't going nowhere. However, I do think, just my opinion on it, and I know a lot of people have been talking about it, and this is kind of how I see it. If I can piggyback to what happened with the whole Usher situation, because I got to break it down the timeline. That's kind of how I got to structure it, right?
Okay.
So I feel like with the whole Usher situation, now, y'all all know, girls, we go out with our friends, you know, we get drunk, we want to get cute, and everyone is forgetting the fact that Keke just had a baby.
Shout out to Keke.
You know what I'm saying? Like, after when women have a baby, and you know, I don't have kids, so I don't know, but this is just from my perspective.
The Virgo intuition.
Yeah. After when women have a baby, I think what happens is that a lot of times, you know, we kind of feel, you know, a little momish. So we want to go out. We want to enjoy our time. Yeah. We kind of just want to feel sexy again.
Yeah,
we just carried a whole 9-month baby.
That's a real thing. I believe that.
Yeah. I think what it is that we just want to feel sexy again. And I truly feel like when it comes to Keke Palmer, that's what it was. However.
I think I'm like the however. I feel like I'm like
there's a limit to the things that you do in public. Okay. Obviously, Keke Palmer is a public figure.
Okay,
she's
been lost me for a little bit.
No. She's been.
Now she's back on track.
Yeah, back on track.
Yeah, she's been popping for a while now. Yeah. So I felt like out of respect for him, I do feel like I don't think she was wrong as far as like being fanned out over Usher. Like every girl's kind of like fanned out over someone. I won't say Usher in particular, but everyone's kind of just like, I don't think that the outfit was a problem to him. I think it was more so her being, you know, up on him and all that stuff like that. And I think that's kind of what bothered him. However, as a man, he couldn't say that. And he tried to put it out there as, oh, if it was something wrong with her outfit, but it wasn't anything wrong with her outfit. It was just the fact that you felt uncomfortable because she was touching all over Usher.
I think everybody came to that same agreement eventually. And then fast forward. Well, not even fast forward. They went through the whole social media thing. Well, he spoke social media.
Well, he brought it out first.
Yeah, he brought it out first.
I think two wrongs don't make a right. Yeah. I think she was wrong with the way she kind of, you know, they were still together. I'm pretty sure they probably was, you know, having a little tick for tack because she was like, "Boy, I'm going out with my friends." He's like, "Damn, you going nowhere?" And she was like, "No, I'm going out." And then that's
okay.
Yeah, you know, they probably did a little tick for tack before she went out. So she, you know, she was lit. And let me tell you, when us Virgos get lit, we take it there. We take it there. And I feel like that's what happened. Not saying that she's excused for that because I think it was a bit much. However, I think he was wrong because he also brought it to social media as well. So two of them were wrong. And I feel like they both realized that social media, we have to understand sometimes we have to stay in our place. And this is why we shouldn't always piggyback and look at people's relationships and kind of just be like, oh, well, he should have did this, he should have did that. Because at the end of the day, what's in their household is in their household.
True.
And that's kind of like now a lot of people that were saying they were broken up, everybody's kind of looking dumb because it's like, ooh, child. The tea is they're still together.
Mega, what was your reaction to seeing them still together, hanging out on her birthday?
Why couldn't he come out like as a female? Like, why you think he couldn't come out and just say, I don't like what you're doing over there?
Because as a man, I can understand why he didn't though. Yeah, like it was kind of just because I think what he said was, "You're a mom. Why are you dressed like that?"
Yeah.
And
she is a mom.
She is a mom. Right. However, you know, if I was a mom, I'll still be sexyable. I won't feel like I have to completely cover it up. And I think what a lot of people are not understanding is that she's a baby mother. She's not a wife.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Oh Lord. She done pulled the W card.
Hey, listen.
So you can do what you can do whatever you want to do as a girlfriend. No.
She's a baby mother. She is not a wife.
Okay. And
I feel like if you wanted her to be, you know, obviously conservative or hey now. If you wanted her to be conservative, if you wanted her to dress a certain way, if you wanted her to, why didn't you make her a wife first before you made her a baby mom?
First,
the same can go the vice versa way. Like, if I'm not your husband and I want to go out there and do what I want to do, you're not my wife. I didn't pick you to be my wife yet, so I can do what I want to do.
So you impregnate me first, and you think that qualifies to make me a wife?
We don't even got to talk about the pregnancy part, but if you're going with the logic, I'm not his wife yet. I can go out there and go dance on Usher half naked. Then he can say, I can go out there because I didn't make you my wife yet. I can go dance on
Absolutely. He sure can.
So that's okay. That's what you're sticking with.
No. Absolutely.
Oh, so this is a dance-a-thon.
Okay,
everybody digging down.
Absolutely, because they both are technically, and you know, for those that don't know, I'm very spiritual. You know, I live my life through the Bible.
Okay, well.
The Bible states that, you know, two people that are not married are technically still considered single.
I respect it.
So at the end of the day, it was kind of just, I feel like there's a respect thing, and whatever you put into your relationship, that's kind of how you go about it. But if we're all like kind of just looking from the outside, it is kind of like, okay, well, she's just a baby mom. We don't know what's going on in the situation. She could have been single. He could have just, You know what I'm saying? Like, she could have just had his baby.
We
and
also
that
don't
been
know
that.
how much they talked about marriage. It could have been talked about. They probably agreed they're both not ready, but we committed to each other. So I mean,
and that's true too. That's true too. So I won't take that away as well. But you know, in my opinion, this is, mind you, this is just my opinion. She's not married. He's not married. A baby's involved, but you know,
I think this is what it comes down to, right? And it always comes down to we don't know these people, you know, like no matter how much we feel like we can relate or how much we want to put ourselves into people's shoes, we don't know, and we're not them. But I will say though that I'm happy that they didn't let the internet break up what they had,
though.
because if everything, you know, she popped out with him before she was pregnant and everything, and you know they would seem like they was cool, and the baby came and everything. We never heard any drama from them until that time period.
I think they established such a great relationship to where social media probably doesn't play a big part in their relationship. I do think they hurted each other with what the actions that they did, though.
Yeah.
I think Keke hurted him, and I think he hurted Keke. So like you said, I will agree. I'm glad they didn't let social media just play a huge part into, you know, whatever it is they have going on right now, because they're two new parents. Parenting is new to anybody that just has a baby. So, you know, there's a lot of stress. There's a lot of new things going on. So maybe that also might have played its role.
Before we end off, I think this is how the conversation went. How they resolved everything, right?
Stop being a slut.
Stop being a slut? No, that's not what happened.
That's not what he said? Okay.
No, that's not what he said.
Okay.
No.
I think it went something down like, you know, I think she took ownership for her part.
Yeah, of course.
But then she also, you know, probably reiterate what everybody been saying, that she's also an entertainer.
That's adultery, what she did.
That's adultery?
That's pre-adultery. Yeah,
I see, real quickly, I see somebody say, like, doing that with Usher is like 5 bodies.
Yeah, come on.
Like,
Doing it with Usher was 5 bodies.
like doing what she did with Usher is like equivalent to like 5 bodies, but
my God.
on that scheme. But anyways, back to, I feel like she took ownership of it, but then she also, you know, said I'm an entertainer, you know, things of that nature. He probably said like what a real nigga would say.
Let me ask you, we're missing one part. How do you feel about the fact that she did a music video with Usher?
No, that's what I'm
Okay.
getting there. Yeah, I ain't gonna leave nothing out. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. And I feel like he said what any real nigga would have said, be like, you wasn't part of the entertainment that night, but okay, yes, you are an entertainer. You like, and I said,
make some money.
I've said this before. She's Keke Palmer. She's been famous our whole life.
Her whole life.
So, but also, I feel like being that you've been famous our whole life, you don't have to be that fanned out over somebody else.
That's true.
When people act like that for you, you know what I'm saying? They came to an agreement that, you know, they talked it out, and I feel like she said, now I want to use what happened to our benefit, which led to the video with Usher, because clearly they were still together, because that was like 2 weeks ago,
of course,
and now it's 2 weeks later, and now they're out celebrating. So they were together then,
for sure.
So I think she just came to him and talked to him like, yo, I'ma, you know, keep that in mind of how I act, but also we in this moment, we can't erase it. Let's use it to our benefit. I'm gonna do this with Usher, because I think Keke got some stuff coming up. She got like different shows coming.
Yeah.
She's always in movies, so hey, why not?
And I look at think that's what happened even after the incident happened, and she had the T-shirts and she was doing the dancing and stuff. I think
she was just trying to
it.
capitalize
Yeah,
off of it. That's what it was.
Yeah.
But why not?
Some of it
though?
did
I'm
come
hot
off
right now. Yeah.
Some of it did come off as a little corny.
And she got hold up.
It did come off.
Yeah,
With the
It
shirt.
came off corny, but it was like at the end of the way, I'd rather be corny and paid at the same time.
Oh no. Like I said, like you doing what you're supposed to do. You're doing what you're supposed to do. Know what I'm saying? But shout out to Keke, you know what I'm saying? It is what it is. Now, what I'm gonna take this. I think I'm gonna go with Boosie. I'm gonna go with Boosie. Then I'm gonna go with Boosie. Boosie.
Shout out to Boosie.
Shout out Boosie. Shout out Boosie. About a month ago or so, Boosie took back the AMG Benz that he got for his daughter when she turned 16. And it led to his daughter calling him a bitch ass nigga. And some other strong words that was being said on the internet. And this past week, Boosie dropped a music video for his song Ungrateful, to where he listed a bunch of people that he felt that was in his life was ungrateful, from Young Blue to his brother to everybody that he felt has wronged him is ungrateful. But for some reason, even though he said a whole bunch of names,
Of course, yeah.
the two people that are standing out in this track is his baby mama and his daughter that he took the Benz from. He said a whole lot. He mentioned back in the day how him and another person ran a train on the baby mom.
Yeah, it's clearly no respect there.
He mentioned how the baby mom must still be mad about her brother dying. He mentioned that she's ungrateful, of course. Mentioned that his daughter's ungrateful. And then today, just happened on the day that we're going to record, his daughter took to Instagram to voice more of her, what she felt about her father with the mama in the seat right beside her in the car. Once again, call him a bitch ass nigga, saying a whole bunch of stuff, trying to speak her part, saying that she's happy she doesn't want to deal with him, cursing out her dad and saying he's this and that right in front of her mom.
Right.
And then Boosie responded, and he started saying that your mom had you living with a 19-year-old man, you 14, and you was doing things in the bathroom with boys at your brother's football game.
Goodness.
And due to her doing that, Boosie threatened to black her eye. She said that, he threatened to black my eye, and they asked him, is that what you did? He said, yeah. Yeah, I said that.
I probably said way more.
Yeah. She was embarrassing the family, and he stood on it as Boosie usually does. And yeah.
Time out.
Yeah.
Time out, because you just said a whole lot.
A whole lot. I had to break it down. I can't miss nothing.
Shout out to Boosie, man.
I'm gonna start in the beginning, because at first I did see when he took the AMG, and I saw her response.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, wow, she does seem ungrateful. Like, if your dad just bought you a nice car and da-da-da, and you're saying this, that, and the third, wow, that's coming off ungrateful, not necessarily me knowing the whole backstory of everything. Mm-hmm. So, obviously today, when I seen how the whole thing, folded out and unfold, I was kind of just really disappointed in Boosie. And the reason why is because I feel like as a father, you have to understand, the first person, a lot of men don't understand, but the first person that actually breaks our hearts is our father.
I believe that, yeah.
I don't have a great relationship with my dad. Mm-hmm. So to me, seeing that play out on the internet, it triggered me in a way. Mm-hmm. And everybody has their triggers. But seeing that to me was just like, whoa. Like, that was a lot. And I even had to take a step back and just, breathe a little bit, because social media does a lot. But I had to take a step back because I was like, wow, like, if men truly understood how we look at them, right? Growing up, everything. I'm talking about from a little girl, big girl, teenager, all of that. A lot of times, I think sometimes men feel like we don't have any respect for them. But honestly, our fathers play a huge role in our lives. A huge role. And it plays a huge role when it comes to our relationships and just many other things, because you learn a lot from a man. We actually do. And I was just very disappointed about the fact that, one, he brought it to social media. Two, he made a song out of it. And I feel like at some point, especially with Boosie being an older man now, we know how Boosie get down. Boosie badass, da-da-da-da. We know how Boosie get down. But I feel like when it comes to family, there's some things that should be off limit and off social media. Some things should not be, for instance, when you said something about her, I guess, being with a 19-year-old boy and doing stuff in the bathroom and all that, the world didn't need to know that. Whether if it was true or not, the world didn't need to know that, because now we have that aspect of who your child is. Because let me tell you something. This is who your child is at the end of the day. Your child, regardless of whether you like it or not, is a reflection of you. True. And is a reflection of bad parenting, period.
Or lack of you.
Or lack of it. Regardless of the fact, it's a reflection of the dad and the mom. I would say this, in defense to Boosie, but also not in defense, but in defense to him, at times, and I can't believe I'm about to say this, however, at times when, you are the baby mother and stuff doesn't go the way that you want it to go, as far as being with that person, we have a way as women projecting our feelings and emotions of that man
she preaching
to the child.
And
like,
I 7 day back to like what type of church is this right here?
No.
I'm listening.
Listen. At times when things don't go your way,
it's more like non-domination.
At times when things doesn't go our way, as women, we kind of put that negative. I'm gonna say the word. I hope I don't mess it up. Connotation on the child.
Yeah.
And what happens is now the child kind of gets like grows up. I'm gonna use the word brainwash, but brainwash is not the word. But I'm gonna use the word brainwash. The child grows up and sees their dad as a negative person.
Yeah.
Regardless of whether their dad does come around, and keep in mind,
especially when you're primarily living with the mother.
When you're primarily living with the mother, and all you hear every day is, I can't stand your daddy. Oh, you look just like your daddy. Oh, it's fuck your daddy. Oh, your daddy out here fucking bitches. Oh, your daddy doing this. And I'm sorry for the language, but oh, your daddy out here do this, that, and the third. As a woman now, mind you, you're not a boy. You're a woman. As a woman now, you start to have this thing in your head like, dang, that's my dad. Dang, I don't really respect him.
And
dang,
I think the same thing. The same thing goes for mothers with boy sons as well. Just talking about your other parent to a child can impact how they look at that parent negatively across the board. So it goes both ways.
Yeah,
you're right.
And then what happens is now it does something to you internally, and it's like you realize one day, you wake up one day and you realize like, wow, I am a reflection of him. Like, and you almost kind of grow up hating him, and you almost kind of grow up hating yourself, right? So I look at, for instance, just to share something personal. I was someone that also went through the same thing. Oh, your dad was this, your dad was that. Mind you, I didn't know my dad because my dad didn't want to be in my life, period. However, when you get someone saying this and saying, oh, you look like your dad, or oh, you're this, that, and the third, I actually grew up thinking like, wow, my dad must not be a good person. So I'm half of my dad. I must not be a good person. And it does something to you. It really does. And, you know, it took years for me to actually understand that, because I was always, you know, growing up, especially in, sad to say it, predominantly Black communities, a lot of people are single, coming from single parent households. Yeah. So growing up, it's actually normalized in our community, which it should not be. So it was so normal, like, oh, you live with your dad, you live with your dad. No, I don't. And it took me till I got to college. And it was crazy because it took me till I got to college, and I was like, I was in my first relationship. And I actually realized how much lack of male anything that I had in my life. And I didn't know how to treat a man. I didn't know how to talk to a man. I didn't respect a man. And it took for him to be like, whoa, you know, you. And it was crazy. It was a crazy time for me. And it was so hard. And I was like, why do I think like this towards men? Why do I have this? And I had to, dig deep. Dig deep. So I say this to say, you know, granted, I don't know what happened in her lifetime and his lifetime from the time she was a child till now, but I can definitely say that played a huge role as far as, you know.
There's certain things he spoke about that I'll touch on. Meg, what was your reaction to everything that's been unfolding with them?
Before I get back to that, I want to piggyback off what you said. And I think what you said was important, because I think like in a relation, like when you have a mother, you have a father, especially as a little girl, your mom teach you how to be a woman, but your father teach you how to be treated by a man.
Right.
So if you don't have that, sometimes you carry this certain life. I don't got no respect for you. Like, I was raised by my mom. Like, who the hell are you? Like, to any man.
Yeah.
Even when you start dating, you don't have the certain level of respect because you don't know how to. Right. So I respect what you just said. But anyways, back to the Boosie thing. I think he stepped out of line especially when he started talking about the whole what she was doing. That's your child. Yeah. So, granted, we don't know what's behind closed doors. He might have been. He probably valued her life. He said he only get her during the summer, etc. I bought you a car. You're my daughter. I bought all my kids. So I get that. Yeah. But you don't go out there and blasting her. You know what I'm saying? Even if you want to talk about
regardless of what she say about you online.
Even if you want to talk about it. Like, you know, she's ungrateful. I don't care. Like,
not to throw it in a song. And also, too, the respect that they have for each other. Not to cut you off, but the respect that the mother and the father has for each other is...
It's not there.
It's non-existent.
So that's what I'm saying. If I'm Boosie, I'm looking at it like, I'm not going to blame you. I'm blaming your mom. Well, our relationship.
Right.
Because it's two. Whatever I did to her, whatever she did with me, she's telling you this. And I say this, when I was a jit, I lived with both my mom, right, and my dad.
Okay.
But my mom used to say some shit about my dad. If I wasn't living with my father, I would have been like, bro, you a fuck nigga. And my dad did some fuck nigga shit.
Yeah.
But I was there to know that you exaggerated everything you said.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Everything you said, you exaggerated.
I will be honest with you. As women, we do that.
Yeah. But that's hurt, though.
You know, it's hurt and it's trauma and it's pain
like
that needs to be
my dad
released.
took me to my mom, when my dad took me to his Mr. house every Sunday, that's some fuck nigga shit. You know what I'm saying? So I get my mom being mad about it. But if I wasn't there in the house to see it, I'd be like, bro, my dad is a horrible person. And that's not the case at all. I learned a lot from my dad. But I was in the house with him. If she wasn't in the house with Boosie at all, so all she know is what her mom is saying.
Exactly.
Well, according to what Boosie said, he said that she was
early on, right? Early on.
Early on, she was actually with him. That's why I said, you know, he said a whole bunch.
Oh, wow.
Early on, because she said the mom was in jail. The mom was in jail, so early on, she was with him. He also said in the live that like when she was in Georgia with him, she was getting like. She was in private school getting like A's and stuff like that. And I guess at a point in time, she just went back, you know, to live with her mom or whatever. And that's when he mentioned that how you go from getting a whole bunch of A's and stuff in private school to having your daughter live with a 19-year-old at 14 and stuff like that. So he was and has been in her life. It hasn't just been like a summer thing. And I think he says the summer, all the holidays, like he makes sure all his kids come.
Kids together,
And to, like Megan said,
she didn't want to come anymore.
Well, what happened was every summer, Boosie gets all his kids.
Right.
All his kids come. And he says, like, he's serious about it. Like this is my time with y'all. Like,
it's a requirement for him.
Yeah, I see y'all throughout different times, but you guys don't live, some of y'all don't live with me predominantly. Like, so.
And that's understandable.
So they were all together, and she said, for whatever reason, she has to go back home. And he like, go back home for what? Like, what's going on? She's like, oh, I got to do this, da-da-da. He said he wasn't understanding. And then, so whatever, she left. As soon as she left, I guess maybe a week later or however long later, soon later, he got a letter or notice saying that he's being put on child support.
Oh.
So.
Conspired.
So what he started hearing and what he was putting together is that she's 16. It's like 19 months left until, you know, she can't get child support no more.
Yeah.
And she said, he was like, you knew what your mom was doing.
Let me ask you something. For 16 years, he has never been on child support. Was that confirmed?
Not on papers.
Correct.
Not on papers.
He said,
but he was supporting.
Yeah.
He said he's never been on child support with any of his kids. He has an agreement with the baby mothers.
Okay.
And give them a certain amount. And from what I know about Boosie, I watch a lot of Boosie with Vlad interviews and stuff like that. He's solid in that. Not only does he do that, but he talks about giving his kids lump sums of money like all the time, like especially for working around the house or being his assistants and stuff like that. So it's one thing you give, you know, the mom like, okay, this is for you guys to take care of you, a little something, but my kids with me, here's $500. Like my kids with me, here's that.
Well, let me just say this. I do think I actually like that. I believe that if the children are with the father shouldn't be giving out money because at that time the children are with the father. Now, if the baby mama does say, hey, look, babe, babe, but because they ain't together no more. Hint, hint. However, if the baby mother does reach out and say, hey, you know, I'm struggling. I got this going on. And if he's willing to do that, mind you, if he's willing, because it's not a requirement. If he's willing to do that and help out, he can. Yeah. But I do think when the kids are with him, the kids are with him. All the money is within the household.
Yeah. And he basically said that hurt him. Like,
oh yeah,
because he's like, you knew what was going on. I just bought you this car and everything like that. When I bought you the car, I'm the greatest dad in the world. And you know, Boosie usually, I feel like he tells the truth, but I'm not going to say I know what he's saying is 100% factual, but as a 16-year-old, 15-year-old, if I have a relationship with my dad, right, we may not be like the best relationship, but I have a relationship like me and my dad are cool enough. I don't know if I'm going to let my mom fuck up the bag for me. Like,
that's fair.
Like, I don't know. Like, I don't know if you guys could think back to when you're 16 or, you know, how aware you guys were. But if all my siblings get a car when they're 16 I see my dad has this big estate and everything like that. He gives me money or whatever the case may be and takes care of me. If child support is only going to last for 19 more months, if they put him on him, and this is going to ruin the relationship I have with my father for the rest of my life, possibly, potentially, I don't know if I'm going to, like, Mom, like, nah, you tripping.
Child support might not be possible. And it might or it might not. And I'm going to say why, because most times if he can prove that he was the financial, from the beginning all the way to the end.
But usually in those scenarios, they usually side with, the woman in that case.
They usually do. However, this is why I feel like as men, it's very important for y'all to date back everything when it comes to anything financial and receipts. Because if it is documented in court, if it's documented, period, once you take it to court, you hire an attorney, you say, well, hey, look, 2012, 2002, 2003, 2004. Once you have that documentation, any courtroom will look at you and be like, okay, he was majority of the it's sad for y'all. However, that's just how it goes for y'all. Y'all have to kind of do a little bit more. And most courtrooms, when it comes to child support, definitely does side with the mother. But it seems to me from what you just broke down that in the beginning, she was mostly majority with him. Yeah, that's what it's giving. That's what
I'm not sure on the years, but
of course not. Just in general. Yeah, in general. Speaking, obviously this is not factual, but this is just from what was said on social media. Yeah. It does seem like at one point of time in her life, he was majority the caretaker with her mom being in prison. Now, me being someone who also had a mom in prison for about 15 years, I can definitely understand how certain things you hear about your parents could dictate how you feel about them. Mm-hmm. And it can make you think like, oh, my parent is this way, when in reality, they're probably not. However, I don't want to speak too much on their situation because obviously it's through social media. You don't know too much. But I knew when I seen the post on social media, I knew it touched my heart so much because I was like, wow, because I kind of shared some similarities with it. And it just hurted me so bad just to see it play out on social media. Yeah. And I hate the fact that I think all three of them are hurting. The daughter's hurting, the mom's hurting, Boosie's hurting. But I don't think any of that should have played out for the world to see.
And I think it says a lot, right? And I'm not a parent, and sometimes you say if you don't have kids, you shouldn't judge parenting. But I know that it says something when you can talk about your dad that way in front of your mom.
You don't respect him.
In front of your mom on social media, cursing, saying this and that, telling your mom, play this recording, play that, play this, play that. It's like, are y'all sisters? Are y'all friends? Like what's going on with that?
There's a respect thing that just ain't there.
Yeah,
there's a respect thing that just ain't there.
That's molded by, the mom. Like 50 Cent, he's had his battles with his son, his oldest son, and it's kind of a similar situation to where he's like, you're your mother's child. Like all that resentment and bitterness has just fell onto you to where 50 Cent told a story in his book that, and Megan, you could probably speak on it better, how he ran into his son at a jewelry store. Wow. And the son was trying to sell off his jewelry. And to
steal his jewelry?
Sell off his son's jewelry that he had.
The jewelry that was given to him.
But that
the son bought his jewelry.
The son bought his jewelry. Yeah. But and he was trying to sell it or whatever, but they didn't talk.
He seen the dad and just left.
And 50 Cent said he's so immature he can't realize that the money that he used to buy the jewelry is mine. Money.
Wow.
And he's in there because he doesn't have access to the money anymore. He's trying to sell it off. So and that goes to show how a parent can impact a child to where you're not even realizing what you're walking away from. Not to say, because all money isn't good money. Sometimes the better off parent is truly horrible to the point where it's the money's not even worth it. But it's like you said, the poisoning of the child. And to revert it back to Boosie, with him and the baby mama, Like,
Yeah,
I'm not sure how much you know about this baby mama, but this is a baby mama that when he was on death row, she testified against him. She
this go deep, deeper than
This
true hatred there.
This goes deep.
It sounds like she just mad. Like
No, for sure.
This is too much.
Yeah, she
You can
testified
tell
against
she's
him.
mad by the way the daughter's speaking. That's a girl that heard stories for her whole life about Boosie, and now she has a chance to quote unquote see it. You a fuck.
And Boosie's been saying this for years, like that. This baby mama testified against him.
So
on death row.
Okay, no, like no.
This is deeper than rap.
This is deeper than the surface level.
Yeah.
Like this is just deep.
Yeah,
deep.
That's what I'm saying. I don't really too much.
And I'm gonna be honest with you, it don't got nothing to do with that child.
It don't.
It don't got nothing. It don't have nothing to do with that child, and they brought that child
into it.
in both of their mess.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know what Boosie did, and I don't know what she did, but obviously I know she testified against him and stuff like that. This feud is between them two. The child is here. It's them two, and it's very disgusting to see how do I put this? It's very disgusting to see how it's playing out, because at the end of the day, I really wish, and it has, just to, from aside Boosie and this baby mother, I really wish when it comes to the child that people will learn to put their differences aside.
There's some huge differences, but I get what you're saying, though,
It's very hard to do because, obviously when you have a child, there's a lot of emotion, there's a lot of passion, there's a lot that plays into it, but when it don't work out, it just don't work out.
That got nothing to do with your child.
That has nothing to do with your child.
Especially if the other parent want to be in a child's life.
I don't care if right now I was to have a child by somebody and the relationship doesn't work out.
He did you wrong.
I'm gonna tell you, he could have cheated on me. He could have did everything in the book. But at the end of the day, my child knows you as her father.
Right.
And as long as you are treating his or her right, the relationship that she or he has with him is between y'all.
That's how it should be. Facts.
The relationship that my child has with me. He's not right to be going saying, oh, well, your mama was a hoe, your mama was this, that, and the third, and I do not have a right to say, well, your daddy ain't shit and that and the third. That is wrong.
Yeah, you're right.
You make your own assumption. Well, you build your own relationship with your child.
You build your own relationship with your child. Now, if he decides he doesn't want to have a relationship with the child, that's on him, and guess what? He got to take that up with God. Not only does he have to take that up with the child, at the end of the day, when you leave this earth, there's always a person you have to speak to. And let me just tell you, stuff like that is not taken lightly. That's like abandoning your child, abandoning something that you brought into this earth.
Good point.
Oh, child, that got me mad.
Hit the spot. Now, before we go off to the next topic, Megan, do you see something like this? Watching Boosie as you do sometimes, like, do you see something like this like could be possibly resolved? Like, you foresee that?
Boosie, from outside looking in, he seemed like a big family man.
Yeah.
And I think if she gonna have to come on some following approach though, like I bow down, like I'm sorry, she really gonna have to come that way. But Boosie, I think Boosie will let it slide. Like not let it slide, but we could talk it out. Like we could unhash whatever. This therapy for sure.
And
they're gonna need
therapy.
And to kind of like once again show the relationship they've had, like I said, he's taking care of her and things like that. But he said, like I said before, when his kids turn 16, they all get a car. And he was on Vlad, and Vlad asked him, the car that you took back from her, was it in your name? He was like, yeah. And he was like, what about the car that you got for your other kids? He's like, oh no, I don't got to worry about them. It was in their name.
Oh, he didn't trust her fully.
He said, he said you got to know which kids to do that with.
Wow. But
so,
as a man, he ain't too wrong about that.
No,
because if he said it just off how you said it.
No, he said it just like that.
He's not wrong about that, because I feel like as certain people, you got to kind of do like some little safety nets.
You can't, and I hear this all the time, you can't parent each kid the same way. You have to know your
not
kids
at all.
And parent them accordingly, because you can't give each kid the same responsibility. This person is more responsible. This person is more careless. This person just doesn't care. You got to...
Even with fortunes, like when people are like leaving fortunes for their kids or leaving businesses, you got to know which kid can run this.
Not every kid can run the business.
Well, can I say that? Well, that's why you always choose that one. You know what I'm saying? Like even Empire, I don't know if y'all was familiar with the show Empire. You know how everybody was fighting for the... But I'll say this kind of like to piggyback. I think to piggyback off of the therapy question, I think that they definitely should have therapy, but I think it should be more so the relationship building between Boosie and his daughter.
No, this got nothing to do with the mom.
The disrespect was there. The disrespect is there, and it seems like it's gonna stay there. I don't think that Boosie should go about trying to have a relationship with that child's mother.
The only thing that kind of is a tiny positive before we move on is that she's 16, going on 17 soon. She will be 18, so the excuse of like you being under your mom will slowly evaporate to where like you're an adult now. You can make the decisions of yourself. So I wish the best for that situation.
For sure.
You know, sometimes it's kind of like you don't want to seem entertained by something like that. But I mean, they put it out for the world to see. So we spoke about it. That definitely
should be entertaining to someone. That's just that's awful. That's awful.
Now, Uncle Steve, I need you to come to the front of the congregation. Uncle Steve.
Pull up, Uncle Steve.
Uncle Steve.
Let's talk.
I need you to come to the front of the
prophesy.
Yeah, let's talk. Dog.
Steve Harvey, a well-known comedian, and has like 20 jobs or whatever.
A hardworking man.
Hardworking man.
Yeah, definitely hardworking.
Yeah, probably
I'm a fan. I'm definitely a fan.
No, for sure. Yeah. There was things going on in the rumor mill that his wife Marjorie cheated on him with a bodyguard. Now, this is just on social media.
Slash chef.
He was a chef too. He was cooking too.
Oh shit!
That's where you messed up at, Steve. He around too much.
Oh, she might have did that shit.
Yeah, he around too much.
I ain't know about the chef part.
He cooking for and protecting her. Come on, Steve.
But this is only being said on social media. No platforms posted this at all. This is just being shown on Twitter and Instagram, and people were buying into the hype for whatever reason. People were buying into the hype, and Steve Harvey went out on stage. You know, he was hosting in a Invest Fest, and he basically said, y'all, no, none of what y'all think going on, we good, so forth and so forth and so forth. Now, that being said, I'm gonna toss this over to Mega first, because Mega, you're always under the assumption that where there's smoke, there's fire.
Oh, for sure.
I'm kind of 75-25 with that, because a lot of times people run with bullshit on the internet and there's no type of truth to it at all. But Mega, start off.
I like you said, I feel like where there's smoke, there's fire. I feel like people always leak stuff. People from inside the camp always gonna leak stuff. And whether or not she fully cheated or that doesn't matter, but there's something going on there. But my problem with Steve is, and I always had this guy, I listen to Steve a lot. I read his, read his everything.
You read his books?
All that.
Yeah.
And I'm like, bro, the way he talked about his wife, which is good. Like, he uplift her, and he took me out. She took me out this dark hole I was in, etc.
And he was in the dark hole.
Dark hole, yeah, bro.
For those who don't know, Steve Harvey.
He was divorced a couple of times, right?
Yeah,
divorced a couple of times, but like 2009,
2007, he was like dead broke.
2007, Steve Harvey was dead broke. He owed the IRS a lot of money.
Wow.
And his wife helped.
They were together.
I
think
she's very beautiful.
I think when she said, he's like, "What I'm going to do," and she said, "You need to go to work."
Yeah, go to work. So he uplift her in that way. But what I'm gonna say?
Okay.
If I'm married and I got all this money, right? I'm not gonna be doing all this uplifting in public as far as like, oh, you the reason why I'm here. Because it's like now she has entitlement over him in a way. Like if we leave, if we separate or whatever,
she could say, I made you. I
build you up. Or now I could take.
Not all women are like that though.
The women that cheat with the chef and the security guard is like that.
I don't.
It's like
the women that would cheat with the chef / bodyguard are like
after this man done uplifted you for decades.
But is that true though?
No, I
I'm gonna be honest with you. I feel like Steve Harvey is such a straightforward person, and obviously he has to be straightforward because he addressed it head on. He didn't even want that. First of all, he didn't even want y'all even looking at him at Invest Fest, looking at him crazy. Like he got on that mic and said, "Let's cut the bullshit."
But you gotta understand, one, he a black OG. Like, you ain't gonna have me looking crazy out here. That's number one. But number two, it might be on something like, if we're really trying to fix this behind the scenes, I don't need y'all to be throwing fire on something that may be there or not. So they just say something really happened and they really trying to work it out. Social media can really impact you, from the outside in.
You're absolutely right.
So let's go ahead and put water on this.
It can add fuel to the flame.
Yeah, exactly.
It can. And I'm glad that he was able to go ahead and speak out in respect for himself and as well as his wife to say, hey, look, we ain't doing that over here.
Yeah.
That ain't what we got going on. Even if it is going on behind closed doors, he was able to, just like you said, kind of like turn that down. so they can work out whatever it is that they might be going through.
Kind of the
in
opposite of the
Now-
Boosie situation.
Yeah, very
Yeah,
opposite.
yeah,
But
very
now
opposite.
I will say though, I don't believe this is true. But what had me, raising my eyebrows at first is because, and Mega, like you said, you well versed into Steve Harvey. You told me that he got like 24-hour security.
Yeah, the house.
Bodyguards at his house.
After the pageant thing happened, he was getting so much threats.
I'm not sure if
Oh,
you're familiar
yeah.
with when he
I
messed up the
remember.
name.
Yeah, he had to
I
get
remember.
people
People started threatening his life over that mess up.
Oh yeah, they were upset.
So
Yeah.
after that, he got 24-hour security bodyguards
Wow.
at his house.
So he
Now-
owes them.
So I don't
Yeah.
know if the bodyguards are still there, but once I heard the bodyguard, I'm like, bodyguard?
Man, he owes them.
I know for sure he got some bodyguards at the house. I know for sure. So the bodyguard was very telling to me.
No.
But he was.
do we have a picture of the bodyguard?
No,
It don't much matter.
No,
No, it do.
He
It
just do his
do.
job. He just do his job. It don't matter.
Because
But-
the
but-
bodyguard might be a little.
When I just
you know.
found out the latest detail about the chef, you protecting and surgeon?
Come on, what you expecting? Come on, Steve.
He protecting and
Steve.
serving for real. That's
And you know Steve work a lot, so Steve probably never home like that for
Steve
real.
got about 5 jobs.
Steve, somebody got to do the job.
Steve got about 5 jobs.
on,
But what I will say though is, and I don't think this is true once again, but
Yeah, I'm
if
on the
this
fence.
is true,
I'm on the fence. Yeah,
if this is true, Steve,
come on, Steve.
I'm not gonna say you brought this on yourself, but you done said a lot of stuff. That, as much as I agree with you, I disagree with you sometimes as well.
Yeah.
And I'm paraphrasing now, but I think Steve Kim said one time that all a woman has to do in a relationship with a man is have their child, and that's all they need to bring to the relationship. And
I didn't agree with that.
And when you say stuff like that, you got to be prepared for whatever come with it, because I'm pretty sure possibly your wife doesn't have to work for anything. And if this is true, and I didn't even say the bigger rumor, because there's a bigger rumor that
Get to it, brother. Get to it.
apparently that they're going through the beginning stages of a divorce and that she wants $200 million. That was attached to the cheating rumor. And if that is the case, if she is asking for $200 million in a scenario that this is real, I think he's to blame for that. Because like Megan said, all the entitlement you've given her, and then all the, power and responsibility that
Of your
you,
success that you put on her shoulders.
to where you said all she has to do is this and that. She doesn't have to do anything.
Let me piggyback off that. Okay, as far as all she has to do is have a child. As a woman, I honestly felt a little disrespected by that.
And
Because that's
basically he was saying that all a man
wait,
has to do is
wait,
take
wait,
care of her.
wait,
Yeah.
wait.
Yeah.
Because that's basically saying that in order for me to be a relevance to you, all I have to do is just have your baby. I feel like I should be more than that. I should be more than just child labor. I should be your best friend. I should be someone that motivates you. You should be someone that motivates me. I should be someone that, we're building together, grinding together, we're hustling, like we're able to, hash arguments, communication out. Like everybody knows relationships are hard. Just because you have a child, that doesn't mean that it's going to work. I know people that have kids every day and they break up every single day. So having a child, yes, obviously that's an important thing. But at the end of the day, what people don't understand, and I was literally breaking this down to my brother the other day, I was like, what people don't understand is that women, in order for us to have a child, we have to be able to receive, right? We receive. You give us our child.
Facts.
So that's why I was telling him, I'm like, as women, sometimes we get this entitlement thing, like, oh, I can have a baby. I can do this, I can do that. But at the end of the day, sweetheart, you cannot have that baby if you did not receive that baby. And this is why I feel like men should understand it is very important about who you give your seed to.
Oh man, that's a fact.
Who you give your seed.
right.
Y'all are actually more important than y'all think.
Oh no! I
I
know the importance. I know the importance.
because I know a lot of men, not y'all, I know. Y'all the straight ones. But there's a lot of men that don't understand how much power they actually do have in this world. And I have to break it down to them, and I'm like, hold on, partner. Hold on. Because in order for us to do what we have to do, we have to, come on now, you got to lead. And I think a lot of times that men are kind of starting to forget that they're leaders. Not y'all specific, but there are some men out there that just be like, oh, well, women do this, women do that, women do this. Well, guess what? Women are doing this and that because we're not seeing the leadership no more.
And I think that's a side to look from it, and I kind of want you to speak to the other side. I think more so what Steve is talking about as far as, because, niggas always, and I hate this question, niggas are always asking like, oh, what does the woman bring to the table? And I think Steve is trying to say she don't got to bring nothing to the table. If she's had your kid, it's your responsibility to just take over and provide everything for her.
Let me tell you something.
So yeah, speak on
woman, like, oh my God,
that mindset of that. Just because I had your kid, I don't have to work anymore. I don't have to do anything.
You give us a home, like you get. What's the saying?
The man provides a home, and the woman makes it a home.
I think it's a house. No. It's a house. We make it into a home.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Do you think a child is just gonna make that house into a home? If anything, it can make it to a hell house. But what it takes to turn that place into a home, it takes a lot of patience. It takes communication. It takes a lot of grieving. It takes a lot of it just takes a lot. That's what you bring to the table. That is the table. Yeah. So to sit here and say, oh, women don't have to bring nothing to the table but a baby, how does that look for y'all? You mean to tell me all I have to do is pop these legs open and boom, I'm just supposed to be relevant and supposed to be a wife? That's not right. And for him to say that and give that advice to women, that is why you have a lot of women out here confused and feel like all I have to do, and I'm probably going to get hate from this, but I don't care, because let me tell y'all something. One thing about Qveen, I don't care what y'all say. I can't call myself a queen and not have my king. Period.
That's how the math works, for sure.
That's definitely how the monarchy goes.
Yeah.
However, it's just that it has to be more than that. I'm not saying you know what I'm saying? Like, I understand maybe people kind of look at it as like, oh, she got to come with money. She got to come with this. She got to come. Let me tell you something. When you come together, right? And when we talk about this table, and I'm going to go quickly because I know y'all want to wrap this up. But when we talk about this table, right? You're coming to the table. I'm coming to the table. We might come to the table both fucked up, but when we leave, we're going to make sure when we're at the table, we're going to be full. You're going to see plates. You're going to see chicken. You're going to see greens. You're going to see beans, all that stuff. We bringing the table together because guess what? We're building it together. So I hate when people say, oh, well, you got to bring this to the table. You got to bring this to the table. No, sometimes you got to be able to come to the table and put the table together. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's not that you come to the table and I come to the table with nothing. It's not that. It's literally just you bring the dishes, I bring the food. That's just like all this 50-50 stuff, right?
Yeah.
Let me tell you something. Marriage is never 50-50. Nope. Sometimes it's 80-20.
Yep.
Sometimes it's 50-50.
Facts.
Sometimes it's 75, whatever the other
Sometimes
percentage
it's 100-0.
is. You're going to always, and everybody has their faults. Nobody's perfect. I think what it is that everybody's looking for this perfect person. It doesn't exist. It's unrealistic expectations. It don't exist. You can come to the table right now. Let me tell you something. We can have a table. You can come to the table right now, and you can come to the table broke. I can come to the table financially. It is my job to make sure while you're at this table, you now have money. So what am I doing to create? What are we doing together to make sure while you're at this table, you have something? We're coming up with ideas. We're coming up with structure. We're coming up with everything.
Yeah.
A lot of people not seeing it like that no more. And they're just thinking about what can I take? What can I take? What can I take? It's not about taking. It's about building. And that's what people are not understanding.
People take the whole man's supposed to lead, provide, and protect, but they don't realize you're supposed to give them the foundation to do so.
If I'm raising hell all night, why would my man want to come home,
provide?
Why would my man want to provide? Why would my man, come on now, if I'm causing all these issues?
You're supposed to help me do that stuff. Yes, I'm supposed to do it, but I'm supposed to have that.
Now, wait a minute, because this go for men too.
Yeah.
You want somebody to make sure that they're cooking.
Right.
You want a housewife. You want all the, depending on what men look for, right?
Right.
You got to make sure that the foundation is good too. You got to make sure you providing. You got to make sure, let me tell you something. Any man that's providing for me, you ain't going to get disrespected. Point blank, period. Now, we might have disagreements, but at the end of the day, there's a certain level of respect you got to have. Period.
That's real.
I respect it.
That's real. And Mega, before we close off on it, what is your final analysis of the Steve Harvey Margie situation? Whether you believe it's true or not, smoke, fire, whatever the case may be.
I'm gonna say this.
The alleged $200 million that she, may be asking for and everything.
I'm gonna say this. If I find out you cheating on me, with the bodyguard that I hired to protect you, and the chef that I hired to feed you, and then you want to we going through a divorce, you think you're gonna get $200 million?
Oh, you shouldn't get nothing.
I'm masking up. I'm masking up. And it's going to be June 12, 1994 all over again.
Oh, my.
I'm masking up.
Hold on. What happened June 12, 1994?
It's going to be a slow chase on Turnpike. I'm masking up.
What happened June 12, 1994?
That's disrespectful. That's so disrespectful. Come on, you want half after you cheated on me? I'm leaving this on the rest of the episode. I want y'all to know how serious I am. I'm masking up.
Oh,
Qveen, can you guess what happened June 12, 1994?
I don't know. What happened? Enlighten me.
I feel like that was the O.J. Simpson incident.
I'm masking up.
Oh, y'all, that's wrong.
No, I didn't put no title to it.
Wait, I just laughed at, no.
I didn't put no title to it. I just said I'm masking up.
No, Mega, no. You can't. Oh, Lord.
I'm gonna give $200 million away, but it's gonna be to a lawyer. It's gonna be to a lawyer. You hear me?
You can't do that.
It's done. Future wife, it's done.
You can't.
I'm telling you, just relax. All right. Cheat. If you don't cheat, leave with nothing. You ain't leaving. You leave with nothing.
You
leave with your wife. Or you leave with nothing.
She can leave, but they're gonna try to take my money.
It's either your life or nothing.
Mega, you can't do that.
No, she can't do it. She can't do it. She can't do it. I'm masking up. Mask on, David.
Oh my gosh.
Oh man.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man.
That's my last take on it.
Oh man.
That was a lot. That was a lot.
Now, in the words of the famous comedian Chris Rock, if you divorce, and I'm paraphrasing the joke, if you a millionaire or you work $24 million,
this shit hot. I ain't gonna count.
and you get divorced and your wife take half, okay.
Yeah.
You know, you ain't starving. You still a millionaire. But if you make $24,000 a year and your wife take half, you might have to kill her.
I always feel like you should leave the marriage with what you came in with.
I'm trying to tell you.
Ooh.
I'm trying to tell you.
You leave the marriage with what you came in with. So if you came into this marriage with, you leaving with.
Or you leave with what you built for yourself while you're in this marriage.
Yeah, you leave what you built for yourself. Like, I feel like.
Alimony and all that.
I feel like together, while you're together, the money is together. But I feel like there should be something in the write-up that if this doesn't work out, you leave with what you have.
You don't believe in alimony or okay, I'm worth this amount. You can leave. I'll give you $2 million in the case of a divorce. I'm worth $40 million.
Let me tell you why I don't believe in it, and I'm gonna look at it from a guy paying a woman, right? And they not gonna like what I'm about to say. Y'all not gonna. Y'all, I hope y'all
paying guys too.
I also hope this don't come back on me at all either. Cause, oh Lord, I would say this. I think that when you're ready to leave, you're ready to leave. That means that you're ready to leave the lifestyle.
That's what I'm trying to say. Oh my God, you pretty.
Right? So for instance, if I know that I'm with a billionaire, right? And I know that he has this lifestyle, we're living like this and all that stuff like that. And I just so happen to wake up one day and I'm just like, I'm really unhappy. I don't want to be here. I need to make sure that I understand that there's a possibility that I won't have this lifestyle anymore.
You have to build it up.
And I have to be able to accept that. And if I'm truly, truly, truly ready to leave, I need to be able to say, you know what? I'm ready to leave him as a person. I'm ready to leave this lifestyle.
Yep.
And I'm ready to leave. Because I think most times people, when they're ready for a divorce, they're just like, okay, I'm just over the person, but I want your money though. And it's like, no, baby, you want to leave.
You over me and whatever comes with me.
You over me and whatever comes with me, so leave.
Okay. So before we end off, in Mega, in the Steve Harvey case, when we say that in 2007, he was broke, owed all this money to the IRS, and he says that he owes his success to her.
Right.
Or, you hear Dr. Dre, Dr. Dre, he's getting a divorce. Let me give another example. Dr. Dre, he got a divorce, and his wife at the time was a lawyer to where she was actually negotiating a lot of his deals, like the Beats deal for the $1 billion and stuff like that. Even though, you guys are saying leave with what you came with, do these instances, do they deserve some of the pie?
Yes. Something like that, yes. And this is why I say I hope that didn't come back on me, right? So, because that might be my situation, what you just explained just now, right? I think that there needs to be some type of because in Steve Harvey's instance, right? I'm gonna speak on that because I don't know too much about the other situation, but in Steve Harvey's instance, I think that some people are kind of just nasty and they'll just be like, well, shit, you want to leave? Fuck you. Like, I ain't give you nothing. And she kind of basically, from what he said, built him back up again. Yeah. So I would hope that he will have a heart and say, you know what? I might not give her everything, but I'll give her something, or what I feel like is comfortable for her to have, for what she's helped me with. But it's a possibility that might not. Listen. It's a possibility once hurt is involved that might not happen. Yeah. Right? Yeah. So that's why I feel like everybody should kind of just be protective and have certain things in place. Even though that's kind of hard to do nowadays. Like, that's kind of like, even as I'm speaking now, I even understand that that's kind of unrealistic. So it's fair game.
And Mega, ending off, rebuttal to that.
I kind of agree in a sense. If we end off amicably and we grew apart, now we just no longer it's not working no more.
It ran its course.
Yeah. And you help me build this up, you're going to be straight forever. But if you cheat on me, you get some Nathan.
So let me ask you.
Let me ask you.
Have you guys ever seen the movie by Tyler Perry titled Acrimony? Which was with Taraji P. Henson.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
And obviously she was with him down and out. And towards the end of the movie, I think it was a little bit towards the end, he ended up, his battery or whatever it was had hit, and she no longer wanted to be with him. Like, her family was encouraging her and whatever. But because he realized that she was there regardless of the whole time, he paid her out.
Yeah, he gave her some money.
$10 million.
He got the house back, right? But obviously, she was so devastated. She wanted to be back with him. However, I felt like what he did was the right thing.
Yeah, for sure.
He moved on, but he paid her out. He was like, you know what? I understand that this didn't work, but because you were there, here's $10 million in your house back.
You know why? Because she was there through thick and thin. Even though it didn't work out, I understand the role you had in me building this up.
And that was a respectable thing.
Yeah, but if you cheat, you get Nathan. Nothing. Yeah. Nothing. I'm masking up.
All right.
I'm masking up.
Thank you guys for watching. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the conversation. Let us know what you think about some of these topics as well. Make sure you guys follow Qveen on everything. Qveen, go ahead and shout your stuff out one more time.
All right, y'all. It's your girl Qveen, and I am a host, model, podcaster, and all. Make sure y'all check me out also on my platform, which is Royalty Talks Podcast. And make sure you guys check me out on Instagram, which is It's Official Qveen, and that's Qveen with a V because I am victorious.
Thank you guys for watching. Make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe. It's Kyle the Kid, Mega the Boy, Qveen, and we out.
It is.
Deserved.